Boondock Saints, I was in Los Angeles, and my friend Tom Shabbat, who was a kid from Maine, knew the director and said, "Oh, I got a guy that might be right." So they come to see me at the Laugh Factory. It's like the clubs in L.A. stay open till 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. So you're on at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm up there, and I'm just going crazy. And the guy goes, "Oh, yeah, I got a script." And I said, I read it, and I said, "This is good." Then nothing happened, and then like 4 months later, they called me back and said, "All right, you got to audition." So I went down to the director's house. Troy Duffy, who's a wicked good guy, and auditioned, and he goes, "Yep, you're the guy." And I was like, "Just like that? That's it?" Because, yeah, just like that, that's it. And he goes, "Yep." I was like, "Okay," because you audition for stuff so much. We used to go to movies, my wife and I. We'd sit there, watch it, and halfway through the movie, I'd go, "Because peanut butter is not the only one." I'd do the lines. She's like, "Did you audition for this?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Why did they give it to an 80-year-old Jamaican woman?" I'm like, quite clearly, she's a better actress than I am. But that's basically how you get, you got it. And great time. I spent, I don't know, I spent 3 months on each movie in Canada. And Willem Dafoe was on it. Yeah, and we got along great because I do stand-up, and I'm not really an actor. And I didn't really care. I'd have him laughing his ass off. He's just a great guy, wicked funny to hang out with. And he'd been nominated like 3 times, and I'm looking at him going, "Holy shit. I was at the Chuck Chucks in Omaha last week." This guy played Jesus, and I'm,
Bob, I don't want to know a number, but I want to know, did that pay a lot of money to do your first movie?
The first movie was pretty good because I hadn't done a lot of movies, but the second movie, my stand-up had grown so much, and I was doing bigger tours and all that stuff, that it wasn't as much. It didn't seem like as much, but you get residuals where, every time they show it, you get paid. So my wife would be like, "You got a check today?" And, and you'll get checks from, like, I did Mad TV a couple times, so I'll get checks from Mad TV for, like, $1.21. But the Boondock checks are pretty good because that had a big following. My parents came up when we were shooting in Toronto, unannounced. They drove from Maine. And I'm 3 days into the movie, and I got a big scene with Willem Dafoe, and I'm standing there yelling at him, going toe-to-toe. And in the middle of the scene, I look out of the corner of my eye, and I see my dad and my mother standing. And in my head, I go, "I think I just saw my parents over there." I'm like, "That can't be them." Then I look back, and I go, "Holy shit, that's them." What are they? And my dad's got a stack of Willem Dafoe movies in his hand. And I see the production assistant with the microphone, like, "I think we got a loose cannon over here." So I'm going, "Holy shit, it's all unraveling. I'm going to lose this job." And they yell, "Cut," and my dad goes, "William Dafoe." And he goes, "Sign it. Sign the clear and the present and the danger. Sign it up." And so I'm like, "Oh, my God. So Willem Dafoe takes a stack of movies and goes into his trailer. And then I'm like, "That's it. I'm done. I'm going to be fired. I can't believe this." So we go back to the apartment, and like 3 hours later, my dad calls me. He goes, "I guess we'll see you at supper tonight." I go, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "We're going out to eat with William Dafoe." So he brought them out to eat and hung out with them like all night.
How great is that?
And the next day, he's the nicest guy. My mother said, "I will say this about William Dafoe. He is not an extremely attractive man, but he's a very sexual man." I go, "What the hell does that mean? That's creepy." "He's very sexual." I go, "You can say he's sexy or something about him is sexy, but don't say he's sexual. That's like implies a whole different image in my brain."